There are all sorts of tragic, terrible, and straight-up twisted tales to come out of the American Civil War. Some of those stories are massively important, while others are just massively weird, like the mystery of the glowing soldiers. What? It's known as Angel's Glow, a strange phenomenon where the wounds of Civil War soldiers would glow in the dark. Pretty weird, right? It sounds like science fiction, but it's true. The strange discovery was first made after the Battle of Shiloh on April 7, 1862. After a day of fierce fighting, the battlefield was dotted with wounded soldiers laying in the mud, waiting to be rescued. As if that wasn't terrible enough, some soldiers started to notice that their fresh, painful new wounds were glowing a bright bluish green in the dark. No one had any idea why, and just like that, a wartime medical mystery was afoot. What was causing soldiers to glow in the dark? Even stranger, as soldiers were slowly rescued one by one, it started to become clear to the doctors that the soldiers with glowing wounds were much more likely to survive, and their injuries seemed to heal much faster than usual. Doctors didn't know what was going on, but they did know what to name it: Angel's Glow, since it seemed to be watching over the soldiers like a guardian angel. As you might imagine, there were plenty of more important things going on during the war, so it didn't take long for the strange, unexplained story of Angel's Glow to be more or less forgotten. Over the next 140 years, all kinds of amazing advancements in medicine have made the Civil War era seem positively primitive, yet no one seemed to be able to figure out why these soldiers were glowing that night. But that finally changed in 2001. Thanks to a high schooler who heard the story of Angel's Glow on a class field trip and decided he was going to make it his school science project to solve. After running all sorts of tests on different types of bacteria in the area that glow in the dark, they came to the conclusion that Angel's Glow was caused by tiny worms called nematodes. These gross little parasites spit up a special bacteria that glows green, which is what made the wounds glow in the dark. All that sounds creepy, and it is, but it's also what kept the soldiers alive. You see, that glowing worm spit actually killed any other bacteria around it that might cause infections, unintentionally cleaning and protecting the open wound. So while doctors at the time had no idea why Angel's Glow helped, their observations were spot on. Nematodes can't normally survive in a place as warm as the human body, which is maybe why we're not used to seeing our cuts and scrapes glow in the dark. But these were special circumstances. Soldiers were stuck on a cold, muddy battlefield, in wet, swampy fields that could have caused their body temperature to drop low enough overnight that the nematodes could survive, thrive, and do their freaky thing. They would have gotten into the soldiers' wounds through the mud and dirt, then survived long enough to coat their cuts in glow-in-the-dark spit. Gross! But also just the slithery, slimy guardian angel these Civil War soldiers needed. And just like that, another strange historical mystery solved.